Good.
And we're live.
Yes. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. We are here on the Purple Couch. We're here super early. Thank you for your time, Trey Gallman. I appreciate you being here. We've crossed paths over the last couple of years and become friends, and it's been fun to watch your journey. But why don't you give our listeners a quick rundown, a minute of who you are, your background, what you're doing nowadays?
How far back you want to go? Like, are we going back to LSU or?
Yeah, let's start at LSU, and then we'll dive in, and I'll start peeling back the layers once we start talking.
Yeah, we'll peel the onion. So played ball at LSU from
football.
Played football, from 14 to 18.
We're in the Omaha, so I didn't want people to get
confused. Don't get it confused.
Yeah.
But I had to represent.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
Played football at LSU 14 to 18. Started doing the music thing around that time, and skip a few spaces in there. Get to the gist of now. Just doing the country music thing.
I love it.
Touring and playing and doing the deal.
Yeah. No, you really are, man. It's been really fun to watch your journey because I met you through Austin Bain, who was him and I was finishing school. We crossed paths. He was on the baseball team. And he kind of mentioned that you were doing music, that you were a good singer, you guys were roommates and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's like a little hobby. Yeah. And now to watch it turn into this post-football career has been really fun. So we're here for a specific reason too, to kind of talk about a specific song that you've created, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about that, and then we'll go back to the LSU days and start and we'll start from the top.
Then we'll get into the
But I want to hear about this song real quick.
Yeah, so we've got a song coming out October 21st, right? Yeah, October 21st. That's a terrible, I should know that. I'm on here to talk about it. A song called We Want Bama. It's a song that I wrote with another Louisiana guy in Nashville by the name of Parker LeBlanc. He's from here. Grew up right down the road, went to Runnels. We're both songwriters now. So he had this idea, wrote a song about, it's not a song about football at all. Like you see, all the other country artists that are making songs that are football related right now. Mm-hmm. It's just the idea of, you go to an LSU game and you're chanting, "We want Bama," because, LSU just won a big game and that's coming up. But you see this girl and all you want is her. Like, that's what you're stuck on. So it's a cool kind of twist on the football thing, love song idea. So it's fun. I'm excited to release it. I'm excited for people to hear it. That's my favorite part of making music, is the idea of obviously having the idea to make the song, right? That's awesome. And then, okay, well, let's put words to it. That's awesome. Then take it to production. Okay, we just built this thing. Yeah. Right? And it's the gratification of putting it out. And you're like, all right, now what? Like, you just let it out to the world. And it's just vulnerable. To respond. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like, all right, here's our song. We put so much effort into
Hopefully
it.
Y'all love it.
Hope you like it. And then some people are like, oh, dude, this is gas. And other people are like, this is ass. Like, okay, well, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's all feedback. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. Yeah. I like the twist on it because it's going to hit multiple demographics. It's not just going to be a football sports song, but everybody loves that love twist and everything. So I'm excited to hear it. I'm really happy for you, man, and that's really cool because anytime an athlete, I think, dips into the entertainment, arts world or whatever, I think is really cool because when you're playing ball, or at least in baseball world and stuff, and I'm sure it was similar for you when you play at such a high level at LSU, you take sports so serious and there's not that much time for other things, right? So
that's true.
For you to be able to make a profession out of this, I think is really cool too.
Yeah, it's been a ride, cause it's like, when we started the whole thing, it was a joke. We did it. It was for fun. Yeah. It was, I grew up around music. Let me start there.
Okay, yeah.
I grew up around music. My dad played my whole life growing up.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Prairieville.
Okay, very cool.
Right up the road. Cool. So he played when I was growing up, and he would make me sing along with him or harmonize with him, but he never taught me how to play guitar and was just kind of like, if you want to learn, you'll figure it out on your own. Well, when I got to college, wasn't playing multiple sports anymore. Yeah. Springtime. Yeah, I had some, after bowl season, I had time on my hands, so guitar just felt natural. So picked it up and did it for fun, and then it became just like it just became infectious, and it was like a side of me that I knew I loved, but whenever I was able to express myself in that way, it was like, it's just like the artistic side.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It was probably a good little escapism too, to be able to balance that and separate from football for however long you were immersed in that moment,
Right, and that was the thought, was like, it was just learning cover songs because, I said, that gratification, like someone saying, oh man, you can sing or you can play. You're like, oh yeah, well, let me learn this song because y'all like this, so let me learn it and see if I can do a good job on it. And then the whole playing a live show in a bar, that I didn't really think about doing that at first, I have to admit. But then once someone was like, dude, why don't you go play in a bar? Why don't you go play a live show? I'm like, I never thought about it. But once I thought about it, it's like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah,
I want to do that. So
cool.
then we did it, and then it was just a snowball effect. Why don't you write a song?
I love it.
Why don't you record your music? Why don't you release your music?
Yeah.
Why don't you? And then after that, it was like,
oh, I'm really in this thing.
I'm in this thing. Like, I'm in it, and I'm like, I guess that's the point. Is like, I've never looked at this as a job, even though I made it my profession, because of the fact that everything was just so fun and just so natural. It was just like someone was like, hey, man, why don't you do this?
Yeah.
I want you to do this. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to school to
do this, to
earn
money.
And this is right. It was just like, I'm loving what I'm doing and I'm getting paid to do it.
This seems like a dream.
Like, hold on a second. Like, I thought that was only, like, my football days are done. Like, I thought that was what was coming from, like, that was the thing, right?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to make it to the league. And with music, it was just like, oh, wait. When you look back, you're like, dude, he's done some pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
I can't wait to dive in. What, were you going to say something? Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something. He was loving it over there. So that's good. Yeah. But I want to backtrack a little bit. You mentioned your pops. So was he a professional musician? Does he do it for a living, or was it a kind of a side thing for him?
No, man. He was the best campfire, sit around the fire at the hunting camp, guitar player.
Very cool.
One of those that he learned from some friends growing up. That's what they did. He played a few gigs, or at least he's got some stories of, before I was born, of him playing a couple of gigs. But as far as like once I was born and like what I grew up around, he didn't play a live show until I asked him to come and play with me.
Really?
Yeah. So it was really cool to bring that full circle. But yeah, he wasn't a professional musician. He was a contractor for years,
cool.
And then worked in sales a little bit. So that was a completely different side of him that we got to tap into. That's
pretty cool. Growing up, you said you played a bunch of sports. So were you and him doing the sports thing more and everything?
Yeah. So, I mean, it was football. Like, I love baseball. I played baseball. But once I started playing football at 8, he was my coach in football. Yeah. All the way up, I think through like middle school probably. Yeah. And then after middle school, once I got to high school, it was like, okay, I can't follow you anymore. Can't coach you. Yeah. But it was always baseball and football year round. I love it. Yeah. That's
pretty cool. I'm excited to talk about the music stuff, but you kind of mentioned how music now is almost like you can't believe it. It's almost that kind of stuff, right? Like fairy tale-ish almost. Yeah. Football, probably, I'm assuming, I'm not from Baton Rouge. I grew up in Jersey, but I feel like it was always kind of like a fantasy for me to be a kid that grew up here and then got to play at LSU. So talk to me a little bit about that opportunity and what that meant to you too.
Yeah, dude. That was 100% a dream come true.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you brought up Bane. So like Bane and I went to high school together. We grew up playing against each other. Went to high school. Yeah, same. Oh, yeah. That's cool. Went to high school together and became buddies, once we made the high school team. And he committed like our sophomore year to play baseball. Yeah. And it was like, man, how cool would it be if you go play baseball and I go play football?
I got chills, dog.
And then we get to live together, and we literally did exactly what we said we were gonna do. Yeah, dude. Chills, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's dope.
No, that's dream shit, dude. Yeah. That's like literally like, yeah.
To make that happen was really cool for both of us, and that was like yeah.
I love it. No, I'm serious. Like I got chills because that's shit that you talk about with your boys growing up. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then it's like you're like, oh shit, we're really doing this. We're here. Like
and we never paused and had that conversation. Yeah. Until we were done. Yeah. That's what was crazy. And you get the factory of LSU that it is, and the business that it is, and the brand that it is, and the culture that exists there. Like we stepped on campus together at the same time. Like he signed, I walked on, we lived together. Well, actually, the first year, remember, they make you live in the dorm at WCA. So we didn't get to see each other much. Like I think he was in like building 2, I was in building 5. Okay, 504, got to represent.
Yeah, let's go.
So, but we were like, we didn't see each other that much. Yeah. The first year, we just like hang out every now and then. Yeah. And then whenever it was like, hey, are we still gonna live together? It's like, yeah. Well, then we did it, and he's always gone with baseball. Right, like you know what I'm saying?
Opposite schedules.
Exactly. So we would see each other at the house at night, but it was more talking about like, bro, you're not going to believe what happened. Right. This or that. And then it was really like our senior year whenever everything was wrapping up for us. And they were making that last push. Because I think his last year was the year that was at what, 17 or 18 whenever we lost to Florida. In the
17 was the year they lost, and then didn't he come back for 18 and was a hitter?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was around, that's what it was. It was whenever the Bane train thing was happening.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot about the Bane train thing.
And just for reference, all our listeners, we're talking about Austin Bane. He played baseball here at LSU.
Yeah.
We just keep saying Bane, so they might just be like,
yeah, we got
his Bane.
Yeah, this is like the Bane love hour, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
No, but yeah.
That's how we got connected.
When the Bane train thing was going on, that was like the first time, and we're talking like 4 or 5 years into our LSU thing, and our dream, that we paused and sat down and was like, dude, we're really doing it.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait, why did it take us this long to pause? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
because you were in it. You were present. That's probably why, too.
Just being present in the moment and just,
That's pretty cool, man. What did you guys go to any big bowl? I'm trying to like remember those years. Like, did he go to any games, like big games for you, like traveling or anything? And did you go to Omaha when they went there in 17? Or even spring, summer bowl and all that stuff?
See, that was the thing. And I think that was part of it, is like, I think it was because of the fact that our schedules were the way they were.
Yeah.
It's like, whenever y'all were in the heat of it, like making the run every year for the national championship, we were in summer workouts.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like, hey, Coach Moffitt, we're gonna take the week off to go to Omaha. It's
we're
like,
road trip. We're gonna go.
No, you're not. Oh, okay, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, so we never got to, like, he obviously came to all the football games, like during football season, y'all come. But I think once bowl season came around, that was like, winter.
Yeah.
I think y'all were like, that's when baseball was like kicking off, like getting heavy.
Exactly. Yep.
So like, as far as the big games, no, but obviously he'd come to all the football games like y'all always did. And then me and Jeter, we would catch like a Tuesday or Wednesday night game, catch the midweeks, but we could never really catch the weekend ones. But that's cool. As much as we could. Yeah.
So when did the music start in college? You said you kind of were doing it in the springtime. So like, when did you really start like, oh shit, like I'm going to, like you said, start taking those steps and people kept pushing you?
Okay. That's a good question. Yeah. So I know I played my first show May of 2017 was my first, like, my show.
Where was
Acoustic. It was at the Hangout in Marpaw.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that place is, but.
No, I don't even think it's there anymore.
Where did you say it is?
In Marpaw.
Wow. I'm from New Jersey, so I'm like, where is it?
Bro, you've been here long enough.
I should know that. I've heard it. Where is it?
It's in the swamp. It's in the swamp.
Damn, bro. I got to go see it.
It's in the swamp.
Well, if it's not, is it?
It's a cool spot.
Yeah.
We, so that would have, 2017, that would have been like my redshirt junior year.
Okay.
So I started like piddling with guitar my freshman year.
Okay.
Started taking it a little more serious and just like learning more than 1 or 2 songs and like playing it every day instead of, because I mean, it was probably a 2-year period of learning how to play.
Yeah.
Like actually sitting down and
like you're talking about the guitar, right?
Yeah, figuring out how to play guitar and everything. And then, so it's, dude, probably like 2016, 2017 before I really learned.
Yeah.
And it all stemmed from, we were at the Hangout in Marpaw one night and Todd O'Neill was playing. And, we were just, me and the boys having a good time watching Todd O'Neill play. And I went up and asked the lady, there was probably like 50 people there, I guess. And I asked the owner at the time, I can't remember her name, and I said, how much are you paying him? And she was like, well, I wish you would have brought in a bigger crowd. And I was like, oh, well, I'll bring in a bigger crowd. Call me up. I'll bring a bigger crowd in here and I'll play for half as much money. She's like, get my number.
Wow.
And that was on a Sunday night. She called me first thing Monday morning and said, were you serious? I was like, yeah, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
She's all right, you're booked this Thursday night. I'm like,
start texting everybody, yo, I'm going to need you to come.
That's like, so before that, like way before. So she texted me that and I'm like, all right, yeah. How long? She's like, 3-hour set.
Oof.
Like, cool. Keep in mind, at the time, dude, I knew maybe 12 songs.
I was just going to say, yeah.
So that's like 45 minutes of music.
God.
So I knew maybe 12 songs. I didn't own, the guitar that I owned didn't plug in. I had no microphones. I had no mic stands, no cables. Like everything that's making this show go, I had none of it. I owned nothing except for a beater, cheap, like $200 guitar that my stepdad had bought me.
Oh my God.
So I called my stepdad first. And I'm like, hey, I just booked my first gig. He's like, cool, man, when? I'm like, Thursday. He's like, what?
Like this Thursday?
Like in 3 days? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, well, that's what I'm calling you. Can you front me the money for the gear? Like, I don't even know what I need.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I know that I need a microphone. I know that I need a speaker, and I know that. And he's like, well, you got to have a soundboard to run it all through, and you got to. And I'm like, what
is that? Yeah.
Like, what? You telling me that like the microphone it
doesn't
I just
go.
want to plug just straight into the back. It's like, no, dude, that's gonna sound terrible. So he got me my first terrible sound system that I used for like the first year. And my second phone call was my dad, because then I started thinking, like, all right, I'm in business. I got sound gear, right? I'm gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
And then it's when it hit me that I only knew 12 songs, and I was like, oh my God. So I called my dad, and I'm like, hey, look, funny story, right? How do you feel about going back on stage? Because at this point in time, me and him had been playing like around the campfire together, and that was like our thing, right? Like showing off at the hunting camp that he and I were doing.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, how you feel about doing this live? He's like, yeah, we can, whatever. Wow, what's going on? I'm like, I got a show. He's like, oh, you booked a show, man? That's cool. I'm like, it's Thursday. It's like, how long? 3 hours. Like, you don't know 3 hours of music. That's why I'm calling you, because you're going to fill in the rest of it. You're going to fill in the rest of the set. So he's like, you want to play together? I'm like, yes.
That's awesome.
So we do that. And
so your first live show was with your pops?
Yeah.
That's
man.
pimp, dog. That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another one of those cool things that in the moment, it was just like, we're going to go do this because we love it.
Yeah.
And then 6 years later, I look back and I'm like, dude, that was like, I wish I could have froze that moment in time.
Yeah.
I'm glad I remembered every detail of the story because of the struggle.
Yeah.
Dude, we didn't even, this is how ignorant I was. I didn't even know at the time that you could look up like the chords and everything on your phone and have a phone holder on the mic stand and just scroll through it like that, like with an iPad or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went to the Cox Center and you can laugh about that. I went to the Cox Center on my study time, like when we were supposed to be in Breakfast Club, and everybody's like, just like in the movies where you got like multiple tabs pulled up, and when they check on you, like, oh yeah, I'm working on that.
Here we go. Yeah. You got a test coming up this week?
Yeah, I'm working on whatever accounting. No, I was Googling the lyrics and the chords to every country song that I could think of off the top of my head. Everything from Neon Rainbow by Alan Jackson to Dinosaur by Hank Jr. and was just print on white paper. And I had a book with 250 songs in it in a 2-inch binder with a music stand. And for the first 6 months that I was playing music, I was sitting on stage and would be, I'm chasing that neon rainbow. Living out. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you kidding me? Like, how terrible. So and I printed all those out and was like, okay, I can't just go up there and not know them. So I stayed up like I was studying for finals that Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night.
Let's be honest. You stayed up way more and studied harder for that than any finalist.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. All right, yeah. Benefit of that. Yeah. I graduated. Thank you.
That's it. That's all. You got your degree, baby.
I got it. No. Yeah, I got it. When I walked across stage, you're like, get out. You're done.
You're done.
Dude, yeah. So that was, we went and me and my dad played together. That first show, ended up selling it out. Everybody we knew came. It was great.
Yeah.
And God bless them for coming back, because I know it was terrible. Like looking back on like the stage presence.
Yeah.
Everything I like the craft, like perfecting the craft now. You look back and like, oh my God, you know?
No, that's part of the journey though. That's pretty cool to reflect on that though. And
100%. In fact, so my guitar player, Jacob Pelletier, he's been with me since day one because of that show. So he came as a friend to just hang out. Yeah. And when the show was over, he goes, hey, do me a favor. I'm like, what's up? He's like, don't ever walk on stage without me again, because you are terrible. Like, cool. Yeah. And here we are 6 years later, and I don't walk on stage without him.
That's so dope. Yeah. I love that. That's really cool. Oh my God. All right. So you do that first show. It goes well. At least you sold out the place.
Goes great.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's probably as good as it could have went, right? Like you told the lady you were going to sell it out and everything.
Yeah. And we did it.
Yeah.
So the show was over, and I think she was only supposed to pay me like $250.
Yeah.
She paid me like $600.
Nice.
And she covered my bar tab.
Yeah, wow.
And like in that moment was like,
I might be able to do.
Dude,
something.
we're on to something. Yeah. Like I just got paid $600 to do what I already was going to be doing on a Thursday night.
Yep.
Yeah, for
It's
3
dream shit.
hours.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
dream
I'm
shit.
in,
Dude.
I am in.
Yes.
So after that, she's like, you want to play again next Thursday? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And she knows the next Friday night.
Yeah.
She's like, you want to do it again? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be here. And 4A Tradition is a popular swamp pop band in that area.
Okay.
And she's like, they're playing the night before, so I really want to see how you compare to them. If you can do it 2 weeks in a row, then we'll really start talking about something, and I'll help you push your name out a little bit. Okay, well, we did it again the next week and the next week, and just we kept doing it.
Kept selling out too. Everything.
Yeah,
like
every time,
getting the crowd,
every
everything.
time, great crowds. And then it now, of course, that only lasted so long.
Yeah,
and then we were like, we're pros now. We got this. Yeah. Of course, then we started booking those shows where there was 3 people, 4 people, 5 people.
Every artist needs those. You need those.
Yeah, you can only pack a place out so many times and be up there, like I said, hey, man, them ain't high heel sneakers. Turn the page, you know what I'm saying? Like,
do you have an iPad now?
No.
Or
so
scroll thing?
I don't have anything now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so I switched to the phone.
Yeah.
Switched to the phone holder. And we were playing a show with Parish County Line.
Oh, wow.
For Cinco de Mayo. This was when we had the band. And Brad Landor from Mockler. You met Brad?
No, I think
he
we
comes
crossed
up.
paths,
Yeah, he comes up and he goes, he's like, T, I love you, right? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, if you ever want to be taken seriously in this business and look like a pro, ditch the phone. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I took that to heart. I don't know why, but I did. The thought of, he's like, you don't buy tickets to go watch someone play a show, and they like, Morgan Wallen's not reading the lyrics off his phone. Now people don't know that there's probably a monitor on the ground that helps them. Yeah. But he's like, you don't see Luke Combs up there doing that. And I'm like, you're right. Yeah. And I took that to heart, and then just made it a point that obviously to memorize the words of every song instead of scrolling through. But that was an interesting piece of, I'll never forget that piece of advice either.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So when so you said you had those shows, then you had the shows with 2, 3, 4, 5 people. When did you start, like, you've played at Fred's, you've played, different big places where there's hundreds, thousands of people, right? Probably. So when did those shows start coming and those opportunities and doors start opening? So
first full band show, college bar full band show, was at Bogey's.
Let's go.
Let's go. Shout out to Bogey's.
Yes.
Baby. Was at Bogey's with Parish County Line, December of 2017.
So were you opening for them?
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
Dude, Derek and those guys they helped me so much when I started getting going. We had no business, dude. We had no business, because the band that we put together, like, you got to think about it. So I'm doing the acoustic thing for a few months, right? I've got Jacob with me, my boy playing guitar. Yeah. We're in the locker room one day after practice, and Jack Gonsolin, the kicker, comes up and goes, hey, bro, I see, like, on your Instagram, you've been playing music. I play bass. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, no, seriously, I play bass. Yeah. All right, cool. He's like, I got this buddy, he sings and plays keyboards, name's Casey Huff. I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And I kind of blew it off. Yeah. Because I didn't think about starting a band. And then one of my buddies, still one of my best friends today, he doesn't play in the band anymore, but Andrew Carmack, he was crashing on my couch at the time because he was in the process of moving back from Florida. Like, he went to LSU, worked for DSLD in Florida, and was coming back, was crashing on our couch. And he was like, I play drums. I'm like, no, you don't. So we got together, like, we got the gang together, and we just were like, hey, this song? This. Next thing you know, we're like, we got a band. So we were party first, make money second. Right. Like, we're getting paid to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
entertain people,
exactly,
just drink with them,
dude,
like, hang out with the people.
Yeah, we had no business getting the help that we got from Parish County Line, but those guys believed in us and gave us these opportunities to play at Bogey's with them. Yeah. And, like, in the post-game day. You remember how crazy that was.
I remember coming to your shows. Austin's like, we're going to go. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. And then, like, doing the Fred's thing. Now this was before Fred's had the big tent and the big stage. This was back whenever the band still played on the patio. Yeah. But still, like, those 500 people felt like a million. You know what I'm saying? And, like, them giving us those opportunities, that's when it was game on. It was probably like the spring of 2018 was whenever Parish County Line gave us those couple opportunities to open for them, like 45-minute sets. And then the fraternity guys or sorority girls would come and be like, oh, hey, how much do y'all charge for, our grub or our whatever their party was. So then we started doing the parties for them. And then their parents would be like, if it was like a parent one, they'd have the parents there. And then that was really where it snowballed from, was 100% the LSU college bar scene.
I love that. I love hearing stories like that, origin stories and shit. Like
dude, like it was, and like I said, we had no business. And we didn't even know, like, looking back now on playing like with Clayton and those guys, and he's like, man, I can give you a door deal, or I can give you, and he's like, I can give you a door deal, or I can give you a guaranteed $1,000 bucks, and I'll pay for production. I'll give you $1,000 bucks. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I don't want to take a door deal. Like, what if? I remember being so nervous. Like, what if nobody shows up? Right. And he's like, I'm going to charge $5 a head. Looking back, we left so much money on the table
by taking the guarantee.
By taking, dude, give me $1,000, because we would pack the place out at $5 a head, and we're doing math like, dude, we just left like $4,000 on the table.
Yeah. And the drinks and shit too, I'm sure.
Yeah, dude. Like,
oh boy,
the whole thing. It was just like, are you?
Yeah. But that's probably why though. Like, and I'm big on energy. Like I'm a little bit of a space cadet, but like, not trying to exploit that shit in the beginning probably kept getting you guys opportunities and being like, we fuck with these guys, like with this energy, like these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff.
That's I never thought about that. That's a really good point, because like, there's a lot of guys that I'm trying to help now, because I'm trying to do the same thing that they did for me, and like, give back to like Ben Ragsdale and, Connor James and some other younger guys that are coming up playing right now. Yeah. And whenever they call me and they're asking questions about like, how much should I charge this? How much should I charge that? And I was just thinking like, I never asked those questions. It was just like, I just want to play the show. Yeah. Like, do you want to do it or not? Right. Yep. No. And so that's a good point. I never thought about that. Probably a lot of the reason we got called to play shows is because they're like, oh, these guys are cheap.
We can afford them.
And we can afford them. They want to play.
We're going to make money. Yep, exactly.
Because we had the running joke forever. At the time when we were a cover band, we were just Last Call. Yeah. That was his band name. I don't know where that came from, dude. We sat down for months trying to come up with a band name. And it was finally just like, Last Call. Yeah. But we made the joke that we were Last Call, because we would get, like, Nay at Fred's. Yeah. It'd be like a Tuesday or Wednesday. But, hey, what you guys doing tomorrow night? It's Thursday. Nothing. Why? Yeah. Like, I'm getting ready to go play a football game. Right. Well, you want to come play tomorrow night? So we made the joke, like, the band name is Last Call, but we're like everybody's last call. Yeah. To fill in, you know like
actually last call.
Like, actually last call.
Like, hey, dude, this is we ran out of everybody, but you
last
guys are
minute
left.
Last call. Yeah, that was us. And we were happily there. Yeah. And just finished the show, dude. There was a lot of times.
Dude, opportunity is like, that's it. You need an opportunity.
Dude, that was whenever we started rolling with that, and then we had to go back. So like, we would play at Fred's on, say, like a Thursday night, right? Mm-hmm. And by the time we got all the gear loaded out, show's over. Of course, we've been drinking all night. Yeah. We're half lit. Yeah. Got everything picked up. It's 2-3 o'clock in the morning at this point, and I've got to be up for a 6 a.m. workout, bro.
And play a day later.
And, 2 days later. Yeah, down bad. Yeah. That's whenever everything started conflicting, and it was like, like the football became. It was always my passion, and then now music was like this newfound love. Yeah. That football became not a negative, but it became one of those like, which one are we gonna do?
Almost like opportunity cost. Like, you loved being over here, and you're like, I might have some opportunity to really do this, and football's almost taking me away from this. But it's both your dreams, and like you worked your whole life to be here, so that's interesting.
It was an interesting spot to be in for sure. Wow. But yeah, it was cool.
That's really cool. I love hearing that shit though. Like, just like, and for me, the big reason I love doing podcasting and like recording this stuff is because forever this stuff will be on YouTube, and when you make it 10 years from now, like, and you're like, holy shit, like, we'll be able to look back on this and be like, bro, remember when you were playing college? Like, we talked about this shit. Like,
yeah, hey, yeah, speak that shit out there. I appreciate that,
bro. I'm serious.
Put that shit
like,
out there.
You know how I'm big manifestation
Hell
stuff, but
yeah.
So seriously, like, I love doing this stuff because I firmly believe, and again, just hearing your story, sitting here, energy is big for me, and just hearing how you started, and to me, the most successful people, and what I've heard and seen across the years and stuff after baseball, is the most successful people that make the most money, love what they do, and they do it from a passion. They do it from
True.
a place of love, right? Not
Yeah.
because I have to do this, I have to make money, right? There's people that definitely do that, but they're not happy. It's not enjoyable. It's not sustainable. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to look up in 10, 15 years. You're going to be doing this. You're going to be on big ass stages. I'm hopefully going to be going down to New Orleans to watch you and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I appreciate
when it
that.
comes from that place of passion, that's where the best stuff comes. So,
And then that's when we're going to look back instead of 10 years from now, just a few years from now.
I love it.
We're going to look back on this pod and be like, damn, this is the kind of thing whenever you stop and you're like, damn, look how far we came. Someone gave me a piece of advice one time. They're like, dude, especially, and I think this carries over, right? Any sort of entertainment, right, is like with podcasting, music, whatever it may be, everything happens so slow, so fast.
yeah, that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it does.
And it's the thought of like, if you look at the grind from day to day, and if you simply look at one episode to the next episode in this, or like with Cards and Culture, like one day to the next day, you lose sight. Like everything just becomes like the really, really cool milestones when they're in the moment, they just become another day in the office.
Exactly.
And then you look back a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you look back and you're like, holy shit, that happened so fast.
Yep.
But so that's the process. Since I got that advice, is like trying to really slow down and be like this being like, now that I'm doing more podcasts, like trying to talk to more people and kind of promote my music more. And like, I love doing this shit.
Yeah.
And so being able to come and hang out, this is one of those things where like, hey, hang on to this one.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For exactly what you're saying. Because say for me, looking back, and like say I'm gonna go back and watch this podcast 2 years from now, I'm like, oh my God, he was terrible. Like this dude is ridiculous. Yeah. And then looking back and going like, damn, I had no business being like, I'm looking forward to being able to look back and be like, I was on that podcast. I'm like, dude, you were not on that podcast.
I'll appreciate
I swear to
that.
God, I was.
Yeah. And the way that and you're absolutely right, because like day to day, right, I stress about little things here and there, but like if I can reflect on 1 year, 2 years, 3 years and look back and be like, holy shit, I started this out of my house. We're selling a few cards online. You know what I'm saying? It's like, now I got this shop that people know about. We got people coming in. And Tony Robbins, I hate quoting people, like, but I love Tony Robbins. But he says this thing, and I feel like it's stuck in my head forever. Like I heard this like 3 or 4 years ago when he said this. He goes, people and entrepreneurs, go-getters, that kind of stuff, they usually overestimate what they can do in a year, but they underestimate what they can do in a decade. So that's why I say 10 years, because right now you probably want, all this stuff, but it's like, we're going to look back in 10 years, you're still going to be doing this. That's what I'm saying. It's sustainable. Like you're going to be doing this for a long time. And that's where it's like, you look back on it and you're like, holy shit, the day to day was a grind. And I fucking felt like I was underwater. Yeah. But then even like the 3 years of Cards and Culture, it feels like day to day I'm underwater, I'm stressed, all this stuff. But then it's like, holy shit, let's take a second and look back on this and have some reflection. It's like, wow.
Dude, 100%. And especially in music, because you like in the milestone thing, right? Yeah. To speak truth for a second, and the roller coaster and the high and the low of what this business is, right? And that we might, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, tonight we'll play a sold out show at the Texas Club. Yeah. And which is awesome, because it's my hometown buying tickets to come and watch me do what I love. Like I love that support from my friends and family, and the fans I've made here at home. And then we might go on the road next week and play in front of 100 people that don't care that we're there. Right. And then the next week play in front of, like when we're back at Fred's, we'll play in front of thousands of people. Right. And we'll chase that high and go through the lows, and then chase that next high and chase that next high. Like, so one of the things we have coming up this year, we booked it just the other day, is we're playing Champion Square this year before the Saints game. Yeah.
That's pimp.
Like, that's dope,
that's
right?
Pimp.
That's dope. Like, yes, thank you.
That's
like, I'm excited
crazy,
for that.
Dog. Yeah.
And the thing is like, when we get to do that, that's going to be so sick to play before the Bears Saints game. Like that's a thing that, check that off the list. But then that very next week, we're going on like a run to the Carolinas. And I know right now that I'm still going to be on that high and be trying to ride it. And that's what I'm trying to internally fight right now. Like the battle with myself is understanding, look at it long term. Yes. Look at it 10 year. Yes. Look at the big picture. Yep. Like if you would have told me 6 short years ago that I'd be doing what I was doing now, and I'd be living in Nashville, writing music for other people for a living, have my own music out, have stuff, I would have been like, no, dude, I'm gonna go sit on my tailgate,
drink a few beers.
Yeah, drink a couple beers, sit on my tailgate, and just dink and dunk with my honky tonk shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no chance.
No, I love that shit, man. It's so real, and it's fun to have these reflections on that kind of stuff, even just 6 years, right?
Right.
Because I think back to my baseball career, I stopped playing at 28 and I was so ready to start this next chapter of my life.
Yeah.
But I turn the TVs on now and I'm watching the games and I'm like, this motherfucker's still playing. Not in a bad way, but I'm just like, I can't believe it. Yeah. Like damn, if I just had some patience, maybe I stayed, if I stuck out these injuries, right? Like maybe I'd still be playing all this stuff. But I wasn't loving it at the time. So I love what I'm doing now, but I apply that mindset that I had, or I remember that mindset I had when I was 24, 25, 26 coming up in baseball. Like, I should have been there 5 years already. You know, like this entitled mindset. And I felt like I wanted to be in the big leagues and the time was going to pass me up. I apply it to what I'm doing now at Cards and Culture. I'm like, let's be patient. Let's appreciate when we have 4 people on our live stream because one day we're going to have thousands and we're not going to have room for
100%.
error. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
So it allows me to be more present and almost like, this is our minor leagues. Like we have one shop. I want to have 5 one day, you know, that kind of shit. But let's enjoy this moment while we're here.
I like
have
how
some appreciation.
I like how you make the reference to baseball, because I do the same thing with football, because it's natural. Like it's what we do, right? Like,
it's what you athletes.
Know. Yeah. It's what we know. So like, that's what I think about a lot is I never took, like when I got to LSU, my first couple years, even though I was on the team, I was still so starstruck. Like looking back, it took a lot of self-reflection years later to be like, why am I no longer playing football? Mm-hmm. It was because when I got to LSU, I didn't think I belonged at LSU.
Yeah. Wow.
Like I was there.
Yeah.
I got put on scholarship, which like I was there. Right. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real.
I'm here for a reason. Like these 3 letters are across my chest for a reason. Yeah. And I still didn't think I belonged.
I had that moment in the major leagues too. That like little imposter syndrome where I was like, okay, I worked my whole life to be here, but do I belong? And that's where almost like I fronted all the time to be like almost mad at the organization sending me down to AAA of like, why the fuck am I going down? I just won a game. And it's like, in my head, I'm like, motherfucker, you know why you're going down. Like, like, you know, almost like that imposter syndrome. And it's like, no, I deserve to be here. And it's almost like you're talking yourself into it. So, and I was the same way. Like I was with the Boston Red Sox and they had, you know, all these crazy starters. And I was just like sitting in spring training, like, am I as good as these motherfuckers? Like,
like what am I doing?
Yeah. What am I doing here? So it's like, but I think now, like I said, I just wish I was patient. I wish I would have just understood that and been like, learn from these guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, just have some patience. And that's what I think I apply here. I try to ask business owners, people that I aspire to be like, I'm not intimidated by them anymore. I want to learn what you've experienced and the things you've done
100%.
well, the things you've done bad, you know, 100%. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And that's the thing is like, you know, just, I don't know, man. It's just the thought of like, going back to the imposter syndrome thing, my thought process on it now is like you were saying, you're like, you know, your big takeaway was patience. Yeah. I think my big takeaway was that those first couple years of feeling like I didn't belong, and maybe that's why it didn't work, because I didn't have the confidence in it. Like I go above and beyond now to be like, no, I'm right where I'm supposed to be right now.
I literally meditate on that like mantra phrase, whatever, right? Yeah. Like you're exactly where you need to be.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Exactly. Like, dude, you're getting open for this person. Or you have like this show or this song or this. No, I'm right where I'm supposed to be in the moment. And that's, so and that helps take away that imposter thing. Yeah. But then when you step back and you look, you're like, I had no business. What? Like whatever the moment is gone. Yeah, like you've lived in the moment. You look back and you're like,
the reflection.
No business, man.
Yeah. I love that though. All right, I know you got a tour that you're going on. You got a bunch of things, so I'm gonna let you get out of here in a couple minutes. But I do want to talk a little bit about. I'm curious, just for my own sake too. Talk to me a little bit about the business. You say you're writing songs for people, right? So and living in Nashville now. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about the day-to-day, how you earn money in the music industry and things like that.
Okay, so I actually do it backwards from most people. Okay. Most people, when they move to Nashville, they start off as an independent songwriter and they want to get what's called a pub deal. Okay. So they want to write music for a company that is going to push their music to other people. That way it can get played on the radio. Like they're the ones with the connections, right? Yep. And then you become an artist, then you get a record deal if you choose to go that route. Right. And you just that's There is no right way to do this
but that's
business,
the blueprint,
but that is kind of what a lot of people do.
Industry standard.
Yeah, if you want to call it that,
Gotcha.
if anything. But I did it completely backwards. I was a cover artist who was playing music to party that started writing music as a therapeutic thing.
Wow.
Someone, you know, Bubba Pelletier called me and was like, hey, I have a song I want to hear you sing it. So I'm going to pay for you to go to Nashville and sing my song. And I was like, I tell you what, the only way I'm going is if I get to record some stuff that I wrote. That's how we went to Nashville.
Oh my God.
Was because he's like, I want you to sing my song, Colorado Coronas. I was like, I'll sing your song if I get to sing my song, Fast Lane, and my song, Down Little Backroad, that I wrote with my dad.
Yeah.
All right, cool, done. Like, that's how we did it.
I love it.
Anyway,
let's
go.
Yeah, go.
We could keep it going.
We're here.
But yeah, we're here. We're in it. Whatever. So, like, to do it as a cover artist, then to become an original artist, then to be like, okay, now we have our own music, so we're like actually an original artist at this point, right? Okay. And then we're touring now, and we're doing it completely independent, which I'm proud of. I'm very proud of being able to do it independently. And then to move to Nashville, because it was one of those things like, okay, I love to write music, but I can only write and put out so much of my own stuff.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Nashville, I saw songwriting as a continuation of what I already love to do, and a way for me to, like, looking at myself, Trey Gallman, as an LLC, how do I diversify my portfolio?
Love it.
And I diversified it by becoming a songwriter.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
so I have the touring thing and the artist thing from a business standpoint.
Right.
That is one source of revenue. Right? Okay. Writing music for other people and letting them record it.
Another source.
And just taking, you know, my royalties off of it because my name's attached to it. That's just
mailbox money.
Yeah, it's a mailbox money thing. That's how I thought of it at first. So, like, but then once I got there and I really learned what it meant to be a songwriter, because I thought about it strictly from a way to make more money. Yeah. Truthfully.
Yeah.
But
that's
once
what I was thinking, right? But that's why I want to hear what it is for
and
you.
so cool. Once I got there and I realized that there are people who have no desire to be an artist, no desire to do anything but put pen to paper all day. And they're amazing, amazing poets and lyricists, and just that's how they put food on their table. Right. Is, oh, well, and they're just dudes. Yeah. You know, and girls too, but like they're just people. Right. And it's like, hey, you want to write with, you know, Caleb Mills or Parker LeBlanc, some buddies of mine, like, hey, we're going to go write with, you know, Richie Brown. He wrote a handful of songs for Garth Brooks, and he's got a dozen number ones with Jared Neiman or whatever. And it's like, you're like, oh my, like, oh, I get to sit down in a room with this person, right? Yeah. And you just kick it, like, you just kick back and you're like, yeah, what y'all want to write? Yeah. But like, just to see that, man, it's a different world, to see how passionate they are about it. And I looked at it strictly as money. And once I was in it and I saw that it's just so big and it's so broad, that's cool. Right? Yeah. And then there's actually it's a perfection of your craft in that way. Cool. Yeah. And there's a lot of pride. Like, people don't write shit on a piece of paper just to make $1. Right. Like, people, like, when you go in the songwriting rooms, it's therapy for a lot of people. Like, if we're sitting down right here and we want to write a song and you're just going through it, you're just down bad, and you just do, like, there's been tears shed. Yeah. And you're just pouring shit out and then making a song out of it. And then once you're done pouring it, you're like, all right, are we going to, like, do you want to write a song about that? Yeah. All right, let's do it. And then you come out with this thing that you're attached to, like, it's your baby. Right. It's a piece of you that you've created. So that's been amazing. That's, to me, is the art side of it. I love hearing it's 100% the art side. And it's pretty cool that you say that it's almost like therapy. And I'm not going to, tattoos, not therapy, but like, my tattoos all tell a story. I can literally remember exactly what I was going through when I got these tattoos, why I got it, where my mental was, right? No one else knows that. They just think Anthony's got some tattoos. They mean something to me. Yeah. There's moments that I was like, I want to get this. I'm going to go through pain for this, you know, or whatever. So that's really cool for me to hear that, because I never thought of it from that perspective. And I just thought it was a couple poets, you know, writing some things down. They knew how to make things rhyme. Yeah. But that makes a lot of sense when you hear country songs and a lot of the things that people talk about and stuff. So, and I think that's what makes country music. Yeah. Is that it is still the truth.
Yeah.
You know, like you look at all the songs that are hitting right now. Some of them are just, you know, they're some songs. There are times when people sit down and they write a song that is just to be on radio, and it's just
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
hip, it's just
Yeah.
moving, it feels good. There are those days. Don't get me wrong. When you're just like, man, let's just put out a product that's just gonna make the people feel
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
But then every now and then there's like, if you're listening, you're like, dude, there's some shit here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this came from somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's cool to be able to meet these songwriters that have written. Like I said, everybody's just people, right? So you go out to the bar, or you go, like we do these songwriter showcases in Nashville all the time, and you just go and you meet all these people, and you're like, oh, you're the one that wrote this song and this song.
Oh,
this
that's
song.
cool.
And to hear them play their version of that song, you feel it so much more. You're like, I get it now.
Wow, that's cool.
I get it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to do that.
I'm not going to lie. Both them know that I'm not a huge country music fan. I've tried, but I'm not going to lie. I want to have I'm just hearing this perspective. It makes me want to listen to songs differently now because.
We can make that happen. Let's go.
But I joke with them. I do like country music. I like the vibes of it. I like the energy of it. But sometimes the lyrics were like, I don't relate to them. I just didn't feel like I related. But now I feel like you just made me relate to them. Because if I can compare them to my own story and be like, 100%. Oh, I get it. This dude is just pouring his heart out to somebody and they wrote a song about it. Like, I fuck with that. Like, that's real. And
what else? Like, country music has become so broad. Like, for whatever reason, I think it's because, like we're molded by music, right?
Yeah,
like our soul is touched by music and what we grew up with. And like when we were growing up in the 90s country was so divisive from 90s pop, alt, grunge, rock and roll. Like they were so broad. That's not a thing anymore. Like country music has embraced all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can give you a dozen artists right now that are all classified as country, and you can build a playlist and you're like, dude, that's rock.
Yeah.
Like, or dude, that's, you know, that's folk, that's Americana, that's bluegrass, or that's traditional country. That's, you know, like, oh, this is R&B. Like, listen to a lot of Morgan Wallen stuff. All right. The reason people are loving the music that aren't country music fans is because if you break the dynamic of the production down to its basis, he's got funk in there. He's got R&B in there. He's got soul in there, like with the beats and the rhythms and the way everything feels. Like, yes, it's classified as country music because Morgan Wallen is a country singer, and some of his lyrics are talking about whiskey, and they're talking about trucks, and they're talking about girls, and they're talking about dogs, and, you know, but at the end of the day, like, you listen to them, like, take the music as the music, because it's about the music. And then there's
No, I love that. And just even hearing you talk about this is opening my mind in a different way, because, and even I had a moment just reflecting. I was like, when you said 90s country, that's kind of what I grew up on, of getting in the car. My parents wouldn't let me listen to certain things. So like, we're putting on this country and you're going to like it. And I'm like, I don't fucking like it. Like, you know
I don't want to listen to fucking Garth Brooks. I want to listen to Tupac.
Or Shania Twain. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, my mom's singing Shania Twain in the car. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to hear this, you know? So it was almost like PTSD sometimes when I got to LSU and they were putting country everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God. But if I reflect on what I tell them, the country songs that I like that made me feel good were ones that out by batting practice. It actually is positive memories, you know? Like it reminds me of my LSU days and the boys and all that 100%. Shit. So I can't relate to having a hunting dog and going out and doing that kind of stuff. But it brings back good feels. And if you talk about the music and the different things and how that touches your soul, I fuck with that. And like, I feel like I can get on board with that. You know
100%. And like, I'll show you some stuff.
Let's go.
That we're working on. That's, I mean, Lindsay, am I wrong? It Up to No Good. Like, that's not a country song, but it's bangers only. Bangers only. That's it. I say that like every time we play a round. I'm obviously a big vibes guy too. So like when we're playing these rounds with people, they try and mix these groups up and like make them, you know, like everybody's diversified. So you have like someone who's like really quiet and writes like beautiful, soft music. That's like, they finish playing the song, you're like, damn, I didn't want to cry tonight, but shit. Like, and then the next person might be like a just rowdy. All right, well, that song almost made me cry, so I'm about to play a beer drinking song, you know? And I'm over there like, look, every time I'm like, look, bangers only. And it kind of became a thing. I'm like, I'm going to get that shit put on a t-shirt.
100%.
At bangers only. Like, that's it.
I love that.
And it doesn't. It's not. I guess that's my thing. Is there are some traditionalists still, which is great for the industry to keep country music what it is at its core.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're dynamic and we're evolving as a society. So therefore, our music should do so accordingly. And it's cool to see, like, you can put on the box of country music. You can hit play and sit there and go, damn, that's a gospel song. Like I said, that's a like Blanco Brown's playing. Oh, Breland's playing. Oh, well, then we're going to Hardy, who Hardy is like, once he made this transition of Mockingbird and the Crow thing, like, that dude is rocking. That's rocking fucking roll. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jack, like, there was that crossover period where, like, for a country song to hit the pop chart in the early 2000s, Nelly had to do a thing with Tim McGraw, right? And Nelly had to do a thing with Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah.
Now, Jelly Roll puts out a song, and it's number one on country, number one on pop, number one on rock. Hardy puts out a song, it's number one on 3 different charts. Like, yeah, it's a country song by a country artist, but it's getting played on rock and roll stations. And then you go to these concerts, and you're like, dude, I don't know what y'all call country music, but that shit's badass. Yeah. If that's country, I'm fucking in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here for all of it.
Yep.
Like, I'm here for all the shit.
That's cool. No, I'm anxious to see what they put on today. I'm like, I'm on it.
Put him on some shit.
Yeah.
Have y'all showed him like Hardy's new stuff and like?
I haven't showed him Hardy's new stuff. We've beaten Zach Bryan to death.
Oh, see,
I like some Morgan Wallen too. Like, there's songs that I like.
Look, so that's the thing, right? So you're trying to like break him in soft to country music, and you slap him with Zach. Like, that's not, bro. That's like. Touche. It is bangers only. But you're talking about a dude that doesn't come from country music, right? You gotta give him Hardy. And you gotta be like, all right, so you hear this song? Like, wall to wall and I still ain't sold out. You telling me that shit's country? Guess what? It's on country radio and it's by a country artist.
Right.
So you call it whatever you want to call it. That shit's gas is what it is.
I love it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm in for it. I'm in. I'm excited.
Put him on some shit.
Man, I feel like I could talk to you for 3 hours right now, but I know Abby's chomping at the bit to get you on. I know are you on a Moscona show this weekend or something?
No, so I'm not doing Moscona this week. We've got to do a thing with Austin James.
Okay.
101.5.
Nice.
Promoting the show
there you
tonight.
Go. Very cool.
Yep.
Good. Well, I'll let you get out of here and jump on set with Abby, but let everybody know where they can find you, where you want to direct people to, and we'll put everything in the show notes too, but where they can find you.
Lindsay's going to love this, right?
Okay.
So I've got Trey Gallman is all of my Instagram stuff,
okay.
right? And then Trey Gallman Music is my separate account.
Gotcha.
And it pisses her off that I have 2 separate accounts. She hates it. So technically, it is my job. This is my one speaking point, is to say, look me up on Trey Gallman Music on Instagram. Nailed it.
Yes. Let's go.
And then Spotify's Trey Gallman. Facebook, look, we're working on the Facebook thing right now.
I'm struggling with Facebook too.
TikTok, I have it, but God, I suck.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't get this.
I'm trying. I'm trying to.
Are you?
I'm trying.
Good luck, my brother.
I know.
Good luck, my brother. We're gonna figure this out together. We're gonna be in this shit for the ride.
Yep. All I do is just chop up stuff from these conversations and just put them on there and just try to at least do that.
What's crazy is like we're doing this, and you're gonna like you just said, chopping up, and you're gonna work your ass off to make what you think is hilarious.
Yeah.
And put it on there and be like, bro, this shit's gonna hit.
Yeah.
And there's a girl making a shitload of money for farting on camera. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know. I don't
and by
get
the
it.
way, she's from here.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. No, the world's a funny place right now. The thing that people pay attention to, that they follow, that they're into.
And you know what's cool is like I might just have to share it with her. That way she can cut that clip and put it, and maybe that's the win-win for both of us.
There it is. We got it. We're marking it down. Manifest that shit.
We're manifesting it. We're gonna
love it.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it is a wild.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't get it. I'm serious. I don't get it. But we're trying. We're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
And look, to each his own. But like, fuck, I can try on clothes too for 1 million followers. Fuck, you know? I can give reviews on makeup. Fuck, you want to put makeup on my face?
I think you would get a check.
Fuck.
I think you get a lot of views if you put some makeup on your face and started doing TikTok. Yeah, I think there'd be some interest.
Can we start soft with guy liner? Yeah, like, let's not get wild.
Guy liner? Dude, that's incredible.
You never heard guy liner?
No.
Oh, bro.
This is why I have a podcast, though. You just told me this is unbelievable.
And this is Cards and Culture.
Yes.
We're gonna put this
Oh,
man
my
on.
God.
Get you some of that lip gloss, some of that plumper stuff. You know? I'm not saying I use it. I've seen.
I do
it,
have
you know?
little lips though, so maybe I need to use some of that stuff.
Same, man.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's it.
having the facial hair doesn't help.
It doesn't,
We just got chicken lips. Huh? Whatever.
Yeah, that's it.
Bark, whatever. It's like fuck me too.
Oh
shit,
my
dude.
God, this is one of my favorite podcasts ever.
Fuck
I'm serious,
yeah.
bro. I've probably done 200 episodes, and I don't think I've ever actually really like belly laughed like this right here. This was
Fuck
fun,
yeah.
dude. I seriously, we could have had 3 hours of conversation if you didn't have to get going on Abby's thing. I see her over here pacing. It's making me have anxiety right now.
It's kind of getting.
Yeah, I'm like, she's just walking back and forth. She's like, come on, let's wrap this up. But
Yeah, let me go ahead and say that anytime I lost my train of thought, it's because I could see her pacing. I'm like, oh shit. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
it's because
kidding.
I was taking all the good questions. She's like, what am I gonna fucking ask this guy now?
I
I'm
mean,
just kidding. You're a great journalist. You're gonna kill it. Don't worry.
she is a badass.
Yeah, she is. All right, so Texas Club tonight, right?
Yeah, Texas Club tonight.
All right, I love it. I'm
Tonight.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna play We Want Bama for the first time live tonight. So
all right, what time ballpark-ish? Just
We're
want to make sure I
gonna
don't
go-
miss it.
so
Is that
Caleb
gonna be one of
Mills-
the last ones?
it'll be like mid-set. Okay, so are you talking about like actual time?
No, like I don't need the. I mean, I'm gonna be
Well, so
there.
let,
so it's
let
like,
me let me plug my boy first. So Caleb Mills brought him down from Alabama to play. He's a fucking unbelievable, incredible songwriter that I've had the privilege of working with the last couple of months. We became really good friends. He's trying to start his artistry thing, you know, talking about the process. So he's coming down. He's going to open up the show for us tonight, and then he'll play the bass in tomorrow night.
Nice.
And so he'll go on at 9, probably play to like 10, 9:45, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
We'll take the stage after that.
Cool.
We Want Bama will probably be, I'm just going to put it out there. We're going to play it at 10:50.
I love it.
That way, whenever I'm looking like at the timing on the set, I'm like, hey, go ahead and jump 6 songs because it's 10:50.
I'm gonna be like, it's 10:50.
Yeah, but hey, hey, motherfucker.
You said it on my podcast.
Yeah,
We need
I ain't trying to be out all night. I came for one song and one song only.
No, I'm excited. I'm literally excited. This is gonna be great. They're gonna put me on some shit today. I know it. Joe's ready to show me some shit today.
Oh, I'm about to show it. Look, as soon as y'all cut this, I'm
go.
going to play you some new shit.
I love it. I know.
No, look,
his wheels are spinning. I know this man enough. His wheels are
can
spinning.
see
I
him.
love it. Yeah.
Look, he's just smiling like, hey, can we
Yeah.
cut this pot? I'm about to put this man on.
Yeah. But Trey, dude, seriously, this is awesome. Best of luck. I'm not bullshitting, man. This energy was great. You're a great dude. I've known you for the last couple of years now, and through Bane. Bane's one of the best dudes I've ever met too. So if you're people with him, you're people with me. And
Straight up.
I'm excited to follow your journey, man. I wish you nothing but the best. And I really do believe in 10 years we're gonna look up and be like, holy shit,
Dude,
bro.
same.
Look where we're at.
Same. 10 years from now, I can't wait to look back and be the one that, like, say I've got kids by that point and say, hey, you saw how this big name dude just went on this podcast? I was on that podcast one time. You know what I'm
We'll
saying?
go through
I
the
can't wait to
archives
see
and
that.
find them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, Dad, whatever.
We'll probably be doing other ones at that point though too. It'll be fun.
We'll
do more.
it'll be a whole
We'll do it every couple of years and just catch up and like reflect.
yeah,
back.
for
It'll
sure.
be awesome. Yeah, it'll be good.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, dude.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Good luck tonight too.
Appreciate
it.